Cordyceps militaris has recently seen an explosion of interest from people looking to harness its powerful medicinal properties, but for a beginner cultivator it can be a tough one to crack. In this video, I'm going to show you what's quite possibly the easiest method for growing Cordyceps at home with limited equipment and budget. This technique is perfect if you don't have a pressure cooker or a flow hood, or if you're just looking for an easy way to grow Cordyceps with minimal startup costs. All you're going to need to pull this off is some Cordyceps liquid culture, Uncle Ben's ready rice, micropore tape, a still air box, mushroom grow bags with 0.2 micron filter patches, binder clips, a scalpel or pair of scissors, and full spectrum grow lights. All these supplies will be linked down in the description. The liquid culture can be purchased online. I'd recommend getting yours from one of these 3 vendors since quality LC is vital for a successful grow. Unless you have a pressure cooker, you're going to want to buy 1 syringe of LC for every bag of Cordyceps you want to grow. If you do have one, you can save some money by just getting 1 syringe and expanding it into however much you need. I have a video on liquid culture that shows you how to do this, so check out the description for that link if you're interested in going this route. In order to grow Cordyceps, we need a substrate, which usually consists of brown rice as the base, to inoculate with our liquid culture. Usually you'd have to make your own substrate and sterilize it in a pressure cooker, but for this method, we're just going to be using store-bought Uncle Ben's ready rice bags, which come pre-sterilized. This is the key that allows us to inoculate these bags directly without having to pressure sterilize them ourselves. We're going to start by setting up our still air box. A still air box is just a plastic tote with 2 armholes cut in the side, which limits the air movement around whatever you're working on. I use a towel soaked in diluted bleach on the bottom of my still air box to catch and kill any airborne contaminants that might be floating around. Make sure to wipe your box down thoroughly with 70% isopropyl alcohol before assembling it, and then allow 15 minutes for the air to settle once it's set up. Now we can gather our liquid culture syringe, or our jar of expanded liquid culture in a new sterile syringe, our micropore tape, and the bags of Uncle Ben's ready rice we want to inoculate, and then wipe down everything with isopropyl alcohol before adding them to the still air box. We'll wait another 5 minutes to make sure that the air is nice and calm before starting. To inoculate these bags, simply stick the syringe needle through the top of the bag and squirt the entire thing in. Then just cover the hole you made with micropore tape. This process is repeated for all the bags using 1 syringe full for each. If you're using expanded liquid culture, flame sterilize your syringe needle after doing each inoculation, then draw more LC out of your jar and continue with your next one. If you're reasonably confident in your sterile still air box technique, you can also cut a corner off each bag and inoculate it through the opening, then cover it with micropore tape. I'd recommend using this method only after you've used a still air box a few times because it can increase the chances of contamination, but I've found it allows for more air exchange and faster colonization times. Once your bags are inoculated, massage them to evenly distribute the liquid culture, then squeeze the top to compress the rice towards the bottom. This will ensure air can get into the hole we inoculated through, as well as create a nice solid block of mycelium once it's colonized. Then, leave the bags in a room that's between 69 and 71 degrees Fahrenheit to incubate. After about 2 weeks, you should be able to see the thick white mycelium completely covering the rice through the bottom of the bag, and the bag should be firm. At this point, the bags are fully colonized and ready to fruit. Set up your still air box the same way as before, then wipe down your colonized Uncle Ben's bag, scalpel or pair of scissors, a lighter to flame sterilize the scalpel if you're using one, micropore tape, 3 binder clips, and a filter patch grow bag with isopropyl alcohol. Add everything but the scalpel or scissors to the still air box, then flame sterilize your scalpel or wipe down your scissors 1 more time. Now just reach into the still air box with your cutting instrument and slit open the rice bag, take out the colonized substrate and slide it into the filter patch bag. This bag should then be folded over and clamped down with binder clips. This holds everything in place while you seal the bags with micropore tape, after which the binder clips can be removed. Repeat this process for all your bags. These grow bags should then be placed under a grow light that's on for 20 hours a day in a room that's between 62 and 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Avoid temperatures above 70 degrees, which can hinder their growth and make them more susceptible to contamination. 7 to 8 weeks later, your Cordyceps should be fully mature and ready to harvest. You'll start to see a fine bumpy texture emerging on the Cordyceps as they near maturity, which are the fruiting bodies forming. When the texture becomes coarse, you know you're good to go. To harvest them, simply cut open the grow bags, remove the cakes, and pluck the Cordyceps off the substrate by hand. Cordyceps can be cooked and eaten as is, but I prefer to dehydrate mine for use in medicinal products. My favorite way to prepare it is in a dual extracted tincture that can be added to any beverage throughout the day. If you're curious about how to do this, check out my video on making lion's mane tincture. The same process can be used for Cordyceps. And that's it. We've successfully cultivated one of the most difficult to grow mushrooms using only a few basic materials. I hope this method can encourage folks to dive into the fascinating world of Cordyceps cultivation and make this amazing fungus accessible to more people.